Hi, it's Leslie Zemeckis, and Mondays are murder. I'm so excited for this week's guest. Tara Moss is a best-selling author, a human rights advocate, and a disability advocate. She is also a documentarian, my people, and a journalist. I devoured her new book, The Ghosts of Paris, which releases June 7th, so get your copy now. The story is set in post-war London and Paris, thus my outfit. Her war reporter, Billy Walker, is back. There are Nazi criminals about and a missing husband. So here is Tara, and have a great week. Remember, stories matter. Find the ones that speak to you, and I'll see you next week with another author.
Mondays are murder, Leslie. So fair enough to ask me how to write a murder. I've written 14 books so far. There's a fair bit of homicide involved in many of them. So fair question. You want to ask yourself things like who, what, where, when, and how, of course. But if we're talking three main tips, I would say beginning with why. The question of why is always really central. What's the motivation? Classic ones are usually greed, jealousy, lust. Money tends to be involved, power of some type, or maybe it's something more obscure like an ancient curse. Then you have to think about how. How are they going to be killed off? Some novelists have done an amazing job. Carrie Greenwood, who wrote the Franny Fisher series, comes to mind. In terms of writing really unique and unusual ways that people are knocked off in her books. And she makes that kind of like a theme throughout the series. For myself, it's not so much about the method, it's more about the why and about the character and kind of like, what's the motivations of the person doing the killing? What's the motivations of that person who's in the line of fire? You know, what is the thing that brought those characters together to this extreme moment in time? And murder mysteries to me really are about the extremes of human nature. You know, we all, I think, have the ability to kill someone. Most of us, thankfully, don't. Something stops us, hopefully a sense of ethics, a sense that we could never do that. But pushed to extremes, I believe everyone possibly could, right? Which is why the crime genre is just a wonderful way to look at ethics and social justice and all these other issues. Then, like I mentioned, you need to kind of look at kind of where, when, you know, is it going to be somewhere where there's no witnesses? That's generally a good idea if you're the killer. Or is it going to be something like in some of the Alfred Hitchcock, where there's lots and lots of witnesses, but they don't quite know what they're seeing. There's lots of different ways to look at writing murder. And there's lots of ways to look at how to get away with it, but that's a whole other video and probably not one with tips I should share at this stage. So I hope you enjoyed my tips on how to write a murder. Please look me up online, Tara Moss author. Happy to answer your questions on just about everything except how to get away with it, because that is insider.